Today we are going to talk about moot court tips for speakers. This is the part 1 of moot court competition tips series by Loggery. Yes, we are going to come up with more and more videos that are going to help you with moot courts. If you are planning to participate in a moot court, then you must watch this video. Also, I'm going to give you 11 tried and tested tips in this video that are practical, workable, because I have myself participated in so many moots, won some, lost many, and also I have judged so many moots that I can tell you the mindset of the judges, and I can tell you the mindset of the students also, and what mistakes participants make when they participate in a moot court. That also I can tell you. Chaliye, let's get into this video quickly. Hi guys, welcome to Loggery. I hope you have subscribed to Loggery's YouTube channel and hit that bell notification on so that you do not miss any of our videos. I hope you're following us on Instagram. We're there by the name @IamLoggery. If you want to stay motivated, if you want to stay happy, and if you want to stay more connected with me, that is Loggery, then please follow us on Instagram. Tip number 1, read the moot proposition every day. It might sound weird, but do try it and you'll see the results. Number 1 is have a printed hard copy of your own, not shared, of your own of moot proposition with you, right? Printed copy, a hard copy of moot proposition with you, right? The more you read it, the more you're going to find arguments in your favor. The more you go through it, because facts are the backbone. Remember, facts of any case, whether it is a moot court or a real life case, as a lawyer you're fighting a case, facts are the backbone of a case. So here your moot proposition consists of the facts. So the more you read it every day, whenever you sit down to prepare for your moot court competition, make sure that before you start, you read the entire proposition from first word till the last. Right. Tip number 2, facts in your own words. You should know the facts. You should know the facts in your own words. Right. Now, whenever a judge is judging a moot court, they tend to ask you that, okay, tell me the facts in brief or in your own words. Now, by that, even when they say you have to tell the facts in brief, they mean to say that you need to tell the facts in your own words. Now, number 1 mistake that students make is, what do they do? What do they do? Participants read from the memorial. They start reading from the memorial or the moot proposition, right? Now this gives an impression that you aren't aware of the facts. This gives an impression that you are not aware of the facts, because a judge expects you that you should be so well versed with the moot proposition, that is the facts of the case, that you are able to explain everything in your own words. The second point is the judges have to mark you for this. The judges have to mark you for this. There's a separate column, knowledge of facts. Out of 20, out of 15, you have to mark the participant. And if you read there, your impression goes down, your mark score goes down, right? So always whenever you're practicing, before the moots, make sure that you practice telling the facts in brief in your own words also, right? Next is, what is the cheat code? Now, kaise batane hai facts, right? So there's a cheat code here. Even the judges don't remember the entire moot proposition unless and until they are not the one who has created the moot proposition. In most of the cases, even the judges don't remember the entire moot proposition. So what you have to do, you have to pick up the very important points. बहुत important points है, उनको pick करना है, उनको explain करते जाना है और पूरी की पूरी story समझा देनी है. What is the issue behind it, right? You should imagine, what if your classmate comes to you and asks you, okay, what is the moot proposition all about? You have to explain things to him or her. You will not read the entire proposition. You will just tell the main parts. More thing that I want to tell you is that it should be in story format. It should be using easy words. You should try to build the interest of the judges in the case by reciting the story in such a way, by explaining things in such a way that they get interested. They want to hear, right? So easy words plus explain as if you are explaining a person who isn't aware of anything. Look, one assumption that you have to make is that the judges don't know anything, and they actually don't know anything. You are the one who has to explain everything. Even in a real life case scenario, when the advocates go to the court and they explain everything, there are very less chances that the honorable judges have read the entire file, right? It is the lawyer who explains his or her case, right? Similarly, you also need to explain each and everything, but by taking little time, right? In the movies we see that the judges hear to only 1 or 2 cases in a day. No, in reality they have 200, 250, 300 cases maybe to hear, so they cannot give you a full entire day to hear a case, right? So in short, yet in an interesting way, yet pulling out all the issues that are there, you have to recite the facts. How to remember the facts? What is the way to remember the facts? You should not give an impression that you have mugged up everything. अब ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि रट्टा ही मार लिया पूरा. No, it should be such a way that it should come out in a free flow manner. Free flow manner. कि खुद ब खुद बोल रहे हो, ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए कि रट्टा मारा हुआ है. ऐसा भी नहीं कि अपनी एक शीट ली, उस पे वर्ड टू वर्ड लिख लिया और सारा उसको याद कर लिया और फिर वहां पे बोल दिया. नो, फ्री फ्लो मैनर, फ्री फ्लो मैनर, राइट? वो फ्री फ्लो मैनर कब आएगा, कैसे आएगा, वो भी मैं आपको बता रही हूँ. यू शुड मेक नोट्स विच आर एक्सट्रीमली शॉर्ट. नोट्स बनाओ जो बिल्कुल छोटे हैं. नोट्स बनाओ जो बिल्कुल छोटे हैं, जिसके अंदर सिर्फ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं, ठीक है ना? फिर क्या करोगे आप, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आप फ्लो चार्ट के फॉर्मेट में भी नोट्स बना सकते हो कि ये पॉइंट है, ये पॉइंट है, ये पॉइंट देखा, ऊपर देखा, उसको एक्सप्लेन किया, फिर दूसरा पॉइंट देखा, उसको एक्सप्लेन किया. तो इससे इतना नीचे देखना चलता है, ठीक है ना? इसका मतलब ये कि यू आर जस्ट लुकिंग एट द पॉइंट एंड एक्सप्लेनिंग इट एंड देन यू आर कंप्लीटिंग द स्टोरी. दैट इज फाइन. Reading entirely from the paper is something that you should avoid completely. Even when you are submitting your arguments, you should not do that, and normally students do that. I don't know why, right? So it should be like one point pakda, usko explain kiya, fir dusra point, and that you can do once you practice, right? So how you can remember the facts? By making notes, short notes. I've done a video on it also, though that is for lawyers, but that is going to help you a lot. If you want to stand out, if you want to win a moot court, do watch that video. It is going to really help you. I'll leave the link to it in the description box below. Note making is actually something that you need to learn as a speaker, no? Right? So we explain a bit and then pick up another point. A flowchart kind of thing will work, or watch our video how to make notes. How to make notes is something that you should watch, because I want you to create notes of not only the moot proposition but also the memorial, the points that you have to cover, and they should be short notes. Tip: remember, you are a speaker, not a reader. Remember, you are a speaker. You are to have a free flow conversation with the judges. Imagine a student. You don't need to imagine. If you have been to moot courts, you will see that majority of the students, they read from the memorial or their notes or whatever. They are reading. They are not speaking. They don't even look up. They don't have any eye contact. Eye contact is a very important role. It is a very important role. Look up, chin up, your eyes should see into the eyes of the judges, and then you should argue. That shows your confidence, right? Reading from the paper is something a reader does. You're not a reader, you are a speaker. So you have to inculcate that habit of looking up and talking, and for that you don't need to read from paper. You just need to pick up a point, explain it, and then move on to next, right? So stop reading, please, because this is something that is very common in moot courts, and that is a bad point. That again takes your score down in the moot courts. Tip 3: practice, practice, and practice. It is very important to practice. We often wonder as a law student, as a participant of a moot court, that जो team जीतती है वो कैसे जीतती है? Practice. Even if you do not have the experience and you know how to practice and what to practice, you can win your first moot court also. I've seen the teams winning their first moot court. It is not because of experience, but because of the way they practice. So what to practice, you might ask? क्या practice करें? सबसे पहले तो speaking before the mirror. Whatever are the issues and your submissions, you already know about them, right? We already know about the issues and the submissions. You need to practice at least the point that you have to put forward, right? जो issues हैं, submissions हैं, अगेन इश्यूज भी जो होते हैं, बहुत स्टूडेंट्स जो जैसे मेमोरियल में लिखे होते हैं वैसे ही यू टेंड टू रीड द इंटायर इशू एंड देन यू मूव अहेड. कैन यू टेल और एक्सप्लेन द इशू इन योर ओन वर्ड्स? Yes, you can if you practice. Again, that comes on practice, not mug up, practice, right? And the submissions, you have to practice your submissions again and again and again in front of the mirror when you are alone, right? Work on your tone and everything. Next is aim. Stop reading and start submitting or arguing. Again, I am highlighting this point again and again. You're not a reader. You're not there to read. You are there as a speaker and you are supposed to argue the case. Moot proposition is your case and you have to argue that case. How would it happen? Look, when you speak, when you're practicing at home, say in front of the mirror, in your room, in your hostel, like you're standing in front of the mirror and okay, you say, okay, fine, I'll pick up a point and I'll try explaining it to the judges. And then there is this point wherein you do not have words to explain a certain situation. You do not have words to explain a certain situation. So what you should do? Should you worry? No, you should not worry. Instead, you should Google, find the word, because it is okay. Most of us do not have English as our first language. Our first language can be Kannada, Marathi, Hindi, anything. So it is okay. Even if your first language is English and you're trying to explain something, there are times when we are short of words, right? So you'll find the word and so you'll be able to fill in the gap. And you will be able to fill in the gap. When you do this again and again and again and again and again, you will gain confidence, and also you will find that your dictionary is full of words. Your brain is full of words because you have added more words. If you practice like this, you'll see that you won't be short of words, and this will help you in gaining confidence. So yeah, practice as much as you can. This is one practice that you can do as an individual, and the other kind of practice is ask your professors, teammates, batchmates, classmates, any lawyer friend to ask questions. Now, this is one thing that you should do. If your parents are interested, you can even ask them to, read the proposition and ask you questions. I would often ask my dad to do that, though he's an engineer, but I would ask him to grill me, to ask questions from the proposition, and would even ask my siblings, my mother to do so. And I would do that because number one, different minds, different perspectives. I would even ask my professors. Every one of us have a professor who is our favorite and we are their favorite. Go to that professor, hand over the proposition and ask her or him to ask you questions, because different minds is equal to different perspectives would help you preparing for the moot in a better manner, right? More practice is equal to more confidence. When you are able to tackle questions that are going to come from different people, you will gain confidence. And if you are not able to answer, every time someone would ask something that you never imagined can be asked, prepare that point, right? So by the time you land up in the moot court competition, you see that a lot of it has already been covered. So yeah, ask your professors, teammates, the researcher, ask the researcher, okay, grill me, ask me questions. This is something that should be done, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Tip number 4 is conduct research. I know that there is a dedicated researcher in the team, a person who is dedicated towards extensive research, but you should make sure that you equally participate in the research. By doing so, your knowledge, I'm again saying, your knowledge related to the moot propositions, related to the laws which are there in the judgments that are related to the moot proposition, you are going to read them. Some are related, some are not related. So this is going to help you a lot. I see that though there is a division between a researcher and a speaker, but you should participate in the research too, so that you are aware of the things. This is a tip that is going to help you a lot, because some speakers, they think that हमारा तो काम सिर्फ बोलना ही है, हम क्यों research में participate करें, researcher करेगा सब कुछ. No, you should help the researcher, and that is going to help you grow. Tip number 5 that I have for you is have a proper file with all the things that you need as a speaker. You should have your own documents, right? Plus you need to read, mark and make notes of everything. So let's take the first part of this tip and discuss. When you are a speaker, you are is equal to a lawyer. You have to treat yourself as a lawyer, right? When you're doing your preparation, think that you are a lawyer. What is a moot court? If we talk about it, moot court is a mock court, right? A court created to make you feel, to give you the experience of a lawyer arguing in the court, right? So there you are a lawyer. Have you seen a lawyer who is, prepping the files, who is preparing the case, and then when he or she is all set for arguing the case, the way they have prepared, the file will be in place, they'll have their notes, they'll have their pen ready, pencils ready, the file is well marked, there are flags, everything is done, right? So you need to have a moot proposition of your own. That is the first document that you need, because that is the source, that is the main source from where everything has evolved, right? It is equal to, when a lawyer has to solve a case, what the lawyer does when the client comes to the lawyer makes notes. First time the lawyer would make notes, then from there the lawyer would research, find which are the laws that are applicable to the case, then judgments, right? So what is the source? Those client notes are the source of everything. And yeah, the lawyer has the option to talk to the clients, find answers to the questions that the lawyer has. Here the moot proposition is the source. So whenever the judges say, and you have to refer to the moot proposition, this is another tip. Don't just say that this is given the moot proposition. Instead say paragraph 2, line number so and so, in paragraph this page number so and so, so that the judges know that you know about the moot proposition, you are well versed with the facts. And I don't really like it when the speaker borrows the moot proposition from the researcher and is not his or her own moot proposition. So have your own moot proposition, right? Which is marked, which has everything, so that it is for your convenience. If you are disciplined, if you have organized everything before you are there to speak, to argue the case, it is going to help you. To memorial, your memorials should be well marked. And again, you need not share the memorials, you need to have your own memorial which is well marked. That is your petition, right? एडवोकेट का petition होता है, वैसे ही आपके लिए वो memorial है जिसके अंदर you have submitted what you have to say, what not, you have written the name of the judgment, explain them a little, this everything, that is your petition. It should be well marked, plus you have to put flags, and you just have to refer to it when needed. When you have to make the judges refer to the memorial, then only refer to the memorial. Otherwise, notes should be ready. Wohi point wise notes should be ready, so that you should cross out reading, and instead you should, if you should argue without just seeing the point and then explaining. That should be the level of your preparation. Okay, you should have your moot proposition notes, you should have your notes of the memorial. Let's talk about the judgments also here. It is very important that if you are referring to a judgment, you have a copy of that judgment, and at least 2 copies is something that you need to have, so that you can give it to the judges. It should be well marked, there should be flags that should be put when the pages that are important, so that your seriousness can be seen, right? This is something that needs to be done. Number 1. Number 2, if it can be done, if the judgment is such that you can get a photocopy for yourself as a speaker, do that, and that should be also marked, and there should be flags that should be put, right? Number 1. Number 2, it is very important that you should have read the judgment in detail. You should read the judgment in entirety, and I have done a video wherein I've told that how you should read a judgment. Everything is applicable to you. Do that. Make short notes. You should know the judgments, the facts of the judgment in brief, right? Because no one is going to read the complete judgment. The judges have very little time. So you need to know everything because it is your case, right? Bare Acts or rules. There are students who are there. Participants won't carry the Bare Acts or the rules. What they'll do is they'll carry the textbook. No, you don't need to carry the textbook. What is important is the Bare Act. The key source of law is Bare Act, right? And that you need to have, or the rules that are applicable, right? You need to have a copy of that. Very important, right? And if you can have an individual copy of yours, that would be better, right? Or you can have just the important pages photocopied for yourself, so that when a judge says, okay, read the law for me, you can quickly read it. That organized you need to be as a speaker, I've done a video on how to read bare acts. You should watch that video for sure. It is going to help you. I'll leave the link to it in the description box below. Judgments that you are going to refer to. I've seen a lot of times that participants, what they do, they refer to a judgment, but they don't know what is there in the judgment, which is again a big no-no. If you are referring to a judgment, you need to know the facts, you need to know the issues that have been discussed and the end result, the end decision which the honorable judges have taken in that case law or judgment, right? So that is important. Don't refer to a judgment if you have not read it. Okay, you need to read it. It is not the job of the researcher to read it. It is your job as a speaker to understand it, to know the facts of it, right? Tip 6, understand the background from where the judges are coming. This is very important and a cheat code only, that you need to understand that what are these judges, what judges in the moot court are doing actually. In most of the cases in the prelims round, you won't find that there are actual judges sitting and judging the moot court, and it is normally in the finals or sometimes in the semi-finals also. Semi-finals or finals, you will find that actual judges, sometimes the judges from the high court, sitting judges are there, or retired judges are there who are judging the moot court. But normally, who are these judges who are judging the moot court? They can be advocates practicing in the court, they can be lawyers working with the law firm, right? They can be professors teaching in the colleges, right? They can be actual judges. Now, why do you really need to understand that from where they are coming? Because they are going to ask you different types of questions. The question type is going to vary, and if you understand that, no, you'll see that the way you have to answer these people coming from different backgrounds is also different, and the way you need to prepare everything is also going to be different. Sometimes we get to know because on the nameplate it is written, otherwise we don't, right? So we difference in questions. What is the difference? Now, if the person is a professor, now there was once I was judging a moot court and there was this professor who was asking questions. So I noticed that they were very, very theoretical questions, very in-depth theoretical questions, right? What is the definition? What is this? What is that, right? It is in-depth, right? So there are theoretical questions. So you need to prepare the theoretical part also. And if a person is working in a law firm or is practicing as an advocate, they would ask you more practical questions, like ऊपर से पूछेंगे, या what they want you to do is to create a connection. They want you to create a connection between the fact, law, and the judgments that you are referring to, right? Create a chain, right? That is what they want you to do. So there is difference, right? तो जैसे आप आंसर करोगे इनके क्वेश्चंस को, वो भी डिफरेंट हो जाएगा, प्लस जो प्रिपरेशन लेवल है वो भी डिफरेंट होगा. तो आपको दोनों प्रिपेयर करने हैं. द क्वेश्चन इज थ्योरेटिकल, तो वो भी आप आंसर कर सको, तो आपको पढ़ना है, जितना पढ़ सकते हो उतना पढ़ो रिलेटेड टू द केस, एंड ये कनेक्शन भी क्रिएट करना है, बिकॉज इसके लिए भी आपको मार्क्स मिलते हैं, राइट? तो अंडरस्टैंडिंग द बैकग्राउंड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. प्रिपेयर योर आर्ग्यूमेंट्स दैट वे, प्लस ट्राई टू आंसर विद दैट माइंडसेट. ठीक है ना, कि हमें थ्योरी में से भी, डीप डाउन थ्योरी के अंदर से भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, क्योंकि अगर वो प्रोफेसर हुए, वो क्या करते हैं, वो रिसर्च पेपर्स लिखते हैं, तो उनको उतनी नॉलेज होती है, तो वो उसमें से क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हैं, राइट? और जो एक लॉयर होते हैं, उनको क्या चाहिए होता है, क्योंकि वो एवरीडे लाइफ में क्या करें, फैक्ट, लॉ और जजमेंट्स के बीच में कनेक्शन क्रिएट करें कि कैसे रिलेटेड है, वो अपना केस प्रूव करवाना चाहते हैं, तो वो आपसे भी एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि जो आप पॉइंट बोल रहे हो उसके पीछे क्या लॉ है, आप उनको वो बताओ, कोई जजमेंट है जो उसको सपोर्ट करती है वो बताओ, और वो केस जो है, जो पॉइंट या जो केस आप पूरा का पूरा आर्ग्यू कर रहे हो, वो आप प्रूव कर सको आप. टिप नंबर 7 फॉर यू इज बी पेशेंट, do not get angry, do not get irritated, do not give up at all. I was judging a moot court wherein this team, the other judge that was there with me, she grilled them a bit and the guy gave up, legit gave up. When he gave up, the speaker gave up, what he did, he just gave all the points to the other team. So the other team was a clear winner, at least for that particular round, because the person gave up. You need to understand one thing, that judges are testing your patience. They are testing your patience. So it is fine. I mean, they're there to grill you. They're trying to give you a practical experience of what actually happens in the court. And you should not take it personally. You should not get angry. Instead, you should keep a normal, not even a broad smile. Instead, you should be just normal there. right? And you should give answers. You should bring back the judges to what is your backbone. Facts is your backbone. You need to be bold enough to give answers and remember your facts, your proposition plus the law is your backbone. ठीक है ना, बार बार उनको वहां पे लेकर आई जाओ. आपको कहीं ना कहीं अपने दिमाग में लग रहा है ये क्या पूछ रहे हैं, ये तो रिलेटेड नहीं है प्रोपोजिशन से, ये तो केस से रिलेटेड नहीं है. Look, you have studied everything, so you know everything, but they are going to take you idhar udhar sab kuch, but you are going to bring them back to the facts, to the law and everything, and you're not going to get angry or irritated. I've seen participants do get angry or irritated, and there are participants who do not lose their cool and they do win the game. Tip 8, be formal when it comes to your look. Guys, इससे पहले कि मैं इस point को discuss करूं, I want to give a disclaimer. I'm not getting personal or anything. As a law student, when we are young, we do not understand these things, but they are important. As I have grown up, I tend to understand these things a little more than I used to when I was a law student. And I want you to understand that too. Since I am your elder sister, it is my duty to tell you everything, and this is also I'm telling you. So don't take it personally at all. So what I'm trying to say here is, one of the mistakes that boys and girls participating in the moot courts make is they go to an extreme when they're dressing up, right? Girls tend to wear those big earrings, they dress up, they wear lipsticks with shimmer in it, or they tend to do their heavy eye makeup, or they wear a lot of foundation. You're not there, you're not invited to a wedding, you're coming to a moot court, and moot court is a mock court. That is, you're going to a court in a way, right? So you're expected to be really formal. You cannot wear those big earrings. It is advisable to wear those small, either those little studs or pearl, right? Have you seen an air hostess? Have you seen an air hostess? The way she's formally dressed, she has her hair in place, she has a lipper which is not going to be really bold, or at least not shimmery, right? Has a very little, eye makeup done wherein she has a liner or a kajal. So you need to look formal. So yes, do not take it to your heart, and your dress should be, if you're wearing whatever, you're wearing a pair of trousers, shirt, or your shoes need not be, do not wear pencil heels that are shimmery or something. You should go with the code of conduct. This is very important, right? So do not take it personally, but yes, this is something that you should keep in mind. Next is for boys. I mean, you need to get up, take a bath. I see some boys, they're really well dressed, formal, everything right. Some boys, their tie is going somewhere. Some boys, they just come without taking a bath even. Their hair is not in place, their tie is not in place, their shoes are not polished. So something which the judges do notice. And they say don't judge a book by its cover, but yeah, people tend to judge a book by its cover, and here the book is you, so you are also judged the way you are dressed up. This also tends to tell that whether you are a serious or not so serious aspect. Please keep it low, keep it good, keep it formal, and keep it as if you're going to the court in real. Okay. Tip number 9 is work on your tone. Work on your tone, right? Confident is something that you're going to gain the more and more you practice, the more you are aware. I always tell you what brings in confidence. What brings in confidence? It is knowledge plus practice. Knowledge plus practice is equal to confidence. And I've told you how to gain knowledge and how to practice. So do that, right? Next is polite. You need to be very humble. You need to be really polite. ऐसे मारने वाला सीन नहीं करना है, ठीक है ना? आराम से, बहुत प्यार से बात करनी है. नॉट टू लाउड, नॉट टू लो. इतना भी धीरे नहीं बोलना है कि जजेस बेचारों को कुछ सुने ही ना. दे आर नॉट एबल टू हियर व्हाट यू आर सेइंग. एंड इतना भी लाउड नहीं बोलना है कि वो कहीं जल्दी जाओ. नो, यू नीड टू कीप योर वॉल्यूम मीडियम पे, राइट? Pauses, very important, very important. It should not give a feeling that you're reading. What if someone is saying, my lords, I know, but you should have a look at the case? What if you're saying like this, and on to the contrary, you're saying, my lords, indeed, but you must have look at the proposition, page so and so, paragraph so and so, and line so and so from the top, right? So what happens? Your confidence, the way you are speaking also matters a lot. And pauses का मतलब ये नहीं कि we are having da 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 बोलते जा रहे हो. You need to pause. You need to pause. Bringing attention to important points. It is very important that you bring attention to important points, and pauses and the way you differentiate, create a difference in your tone is what matters, and that is how you bring attention to important points. Or you can say, my lord. You can also say, my lords, may kindly note, right? So that the judges pay attention. Point is, don't be too fast or too slow. Create a balance. इतना भी तेज नहीं बोलना. You should not इतनी भी speed मत पकड़ो कि judges को कुछ समझ ही ना आए. इतना भी slow मत बोलो कि बहुत ज़्यादा weird हो जाए. Right? ये speed वाले point पे I want to give you another tip, and here it is. Tip 10 is to go with the flow. What is tip 10? It is to go with the flow. Now, what do I mean by the word go with the flow? So basically what happens is that when you are a participant, when you are the speaker, what is your aim? What is your aim or mindset when you are a participant? It is to complete all the issues and the submissions. कि जो मेरे पास issues हैं, I should complete them. I should be able to deliver. I should be able to deliver all the submissions, right? This is what is the aim or the mindset, which is somewhat a wrong aim. Which is somewhat the wrong aim. Instead, what are the judges looking for? That I'm going to tell you, that they are looking for how well you are explaining things. Even if you handle one or two issues and you're not able to even reach your third issue, it's fine. If you do well with the two issues that you have touched, and how you are answering to the questions asked by them. I've seen that whenever, most of the times, I'm not talking for everyone, most of the times I've seen students, what happens is when you ask them a question, you say, okay, tell me this about it, and you're like, oh, let me complete my issue, which is not the correct method, right? Because I say something, sometimes what happens is, okay, the point you are explaining is somewhat related, and it's just 2 or 3 seconds after which you are going to touch the point which the judges are asking, then it's fine. But if you say that let me complete my entire submission and then you ask the questions, that's not the right way. Let the arguments go the way they are going, and if the judges, the honorable judges, are asking something, answer that. Answer that. Your aim is not to complete your submission. Your aim is to prove that you are the best speaker right now. You are the best speaker sitting in that room, in that auditorium. You are the best speaker, and how will you prove that you are the one who can explain the things in the best way? You are the one who can connect the fact, the law, and the judgments all together. You are the one who has the best presentation skills. You are the one who knows how to manage time. That is what you are there for. You are not there to complete all the issues and the submissions. No. So whenever the judges ask you a question, do not get irritated. Instead, answer. Instead, answer, because they have to mark you not for that did you complete the entire submissions. Yes, time management is a thing. How well did you explain things to the judges, right? Were you able to prove your point or not? Never get irritated when answering the questions. Go with the flow. It's fine. It's completely okay. And another cheat code that I want to give you is this, that try to have good knowledge of the issues that are to be dealt by the second speaker. हमारे issues divided होते हैं कि भाई ये 3-4 मेरे पास, ये 2-3 उनके पास, right? Have a good knowledge of the issues that are to be dealt by the other speaker, because when you say that my co-counsel is going to handle these issues or going to explain these issues, in a way you are drifting away. In a way you are kicking away the questions. No doubt the judges are not going to say anything by that, but then also if you have little knowledge, okay, if they're asking an in-depth question, that's a different matter, but if it's a little bit related, you should be in a position to answer, because in all, the proposition is related, so you should have the knowledge and you should not say those issues and why should I know about them. Okay, tip 11 is you should know that for what you are being judged. Marks किस चीज के मिल रहे हैं आपको, right? Knowledge of facts and law. तभी what I have told you, I've given a tip already, that you should know the facts, the propositions so well that you should be in a position to explain them in your own words, in easy language, yet in a very short span of time. They should be short, crisp, interesting and understandable. Okay, application of law to the facts, आ गया ना वही बात, कनेक्शन, एप्लीकेशन ऑफ लॉ, जो लॉ है उसको फैक्ट्स के साथ कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हो या नहीं, अगर जो लॉ है उसको रिलेट कर पा रहे हो या नहीं, जो फैक्ट है कि ये सिचुएशन है इसको ये लॉ एप्लीकेबल होगा, और क्या ये पॉइंट है मेरा, ये पॉइंट है, ये देखो ये लॉ ये कहता है, ऐसे रिलेट होता है, और ये जजमेंट भी बैकिंग कर रही है मुझे, मेरे फेवर में है, वो कर पा रहे हो या नहीं. Ingenuity and ability to answer questions. Are you? It is all creativity. Moot courts are all about creativity. लोग देखा जाए तो वो एक proposition है, कोई clients नहीं है in reality जिनसे आप question answers पूछ सको, but क्या आप argument curate कर पा रहे हो, कितना imagination है आपका, तो वो कैसे आती है जब आप in depth knowledge of law लेते हो, जब आप judgment पढ़ते हो, आप देखते हो कि जो actual lawyers हैं, advocates हैं, उन्होंने कैसे arguments निकाले हैं. You are able to create, you are able to widen your horizon of knowledge as well as imagination. वो आप कर पा रहे हो या नहीं. That is why, you know, when you see that whether you are able to complete all your issues is not a very important matter, these are important matters. Presentation skills, time management and organization. टाइम खत्म हो गया, इश्यूज पढ़े हैं, परमिशन लिया या नहीं, बहुत सारे स्पीकर्स तो ऐसे ही बोलते रहते हैं नो परमिशन, यहाँ पे मार्क्स कट गए, यहाँ पे मार्क्स कट गए, बिकॉज एक जो मेजर चीज देखी जाती है टाइम मैनेजमेंट वाले पार्ट में, वो जजेस को भी पता होता है कि हमने बीच में बोला, उन्होंने आंसर किया, तो टाइम मैनेजमेंट वो खत्म हो गया. बट क्या परमिशन लिया कि टाइम खत्म हो गया, कैन आई, पूछा या नहीं, या ऐसे ही चल पड़ी गाड़ी, बिकॉज यू आर इंटीमेटेड, नो, you are intimated that this much time is left, this much is left, your time is over, you're told about that, you're intimated, right? And never get puzzled when your time is about to complete, never, you know, start speaking loudly or start running with words, no, that's not the case. Be polite, be very calm, there is nothing to worry. Ask for some time, देते हैं तो ठीक है, नहीं देते तो भी worry करने की जरूरत नहीं होती है, right? Court etiquettes, कोर्ट एटिकेट्स, पर्सनालिटी पे वर्क करना पड़ेगा, जो सब चीज़ें हैं, जब प्रेयर बोली जा रही है, टीम खड़ी हो रही है, यानी ये बेसिक्स है मूट कोर्ट्स के जो फॉलो करने. लॉजिकल कोहेरेंसी, दैट इज लॉजिकल कनेक्शन इन द आर्ग्यूमेंट्स, वही कनेक्शन क्रिएट कर पा रहे हैं, अपना पॉइंट प्रूव कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं, या फैक्ट कुछ और है, लॉ कुछ और है, जजमेंट कुछ और है. ये देखो इन द एंड जो मैंने तुम्हें बताया, किस चीज का सबसे ज्यादा फायदा है, ये 3-4 चीजें अगर तुम जजेस जो पूछ रहे हैं उसका अच्छे से आंसर दे दोगे, तो मेजर पॉइंट्स तो हैं ही इसके, प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स और कोर्ट एटिकेट्स. जो इजी मार्क्स हैं, प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स, बोल कैसे रहे हो, ठीक है, कोर्ट एटिकेट्स, टाइम मैनेजमेंट का भी चीट कोड तुम्हें बता दिया. तो moot courts are not at all difficult. It is just that as a law student, sometimes we do not understand the concept, but this is a masterclass, guys. So that's it for today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Also share this video with all of your friends. And guys, are you following us on Instagram? We do pretty amazing stuff out there. We're there by the name @IamLoggery. Also, please follow us on other social media platforms. You'll find all the links in the description box below. And do visit our website, that is live now.